Boogie.
And we're rolling.
All right. Well, we just got through Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there, or
Absolutely.
belated Veterans Day.
Right.
We're very thankful for your service.
This year was different.
What'd you do, Graham? What'd you do for Veterans Day?
Nothing. Actually, yeah,
that feels pretty good.
I talked to some friends, and everybody kind of either had something going on or they really didn't want to venture out.
Yeah.
And like for me, I mean, when you go out on Veterans Day, it really does. Unless you're going with a group of other guys,
Right.
Yeah.
you really don't want to go fucking do
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
But the attitude that I saw on like social media now was, hell, you've got people now that don't even want to post like pictures from their time in service and stuff like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
It's getting like that.
Yeah.
To where people aren't even bringing up their service anymore for, whatever reason.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, I did nothing and I had a good time doing it. So.
Well, you saw Midway.
Yes.
I went and saw Midway, and then I think you went the next day.
Yeah.
So it was a good movie.
You enjoyed it?
It was.
The thing I liked about Midway is it was a very balanced.
Yeah, that's
way
a
they
hard story to
told-
tell.
And
Yeah.
I have aside,
John Wayne was in the original, right? Wasn't it?
No,
John
it
Wayne?
was Charles-
That was Tora.
Yeah, it was Charlton Heston, Hal
That's right.
Holbrook, all those guys.
Right.
And
Robert
Charlton
Wagner.
Heston.
And the
Yeah.
telling of this story, I didn't go back to find out, hey, how much of this story they're telling right now is factually incorrect, is factually correct. At the end, it tells you who these main characters are,
Right.
and what they were awarded in the capacity of what they served during this effort.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was really good. There was the fighting part. There was the storytelling part. The kind of the humanity.
Did it give a lot of history of like Halsey and all that, or?
Well, I don't know if it was. There was some I guess you'd call it some subtitle.
Yeah.
Pre-context type
I
stuff,
gotcha.
but no,
They didn't dive too deep on the history.
No, not
side
really.
of it,
They
huh?
did more of that at the end, but I mean, it played a lot like the original movie.
Well, like we talked about, is the title of the movie is Midway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So going into deep diving any particular aspect of this campaign would have probably changed the title of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the one thing that wasn't in the remake was there was a love interest. Remember, that was the part of the original Midway I did not like, where Edward Albert Jr. he was dating a Japanese girl whose family was interred for spying. That didn't make the remake, which is
Right.
good because
That's what ruined that Ben Affleck movie.
Yeah.
What was that one called?
I've never Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor, yeah.
I've never
Couldn't
even
remember-
seen that.
Yeah.
I've watched it a couple of times just because the plane scenes are just awesome. The combat scenes they have in it are great.
So the CG in this one was really good,
Yeah.
especially
Except for one scene.
Yeah, which
and it was
one?
the cemetery scene.
Sure.
Because I was looking at it
Yeah.
going,
That's
that is some
CG.
fucking horrible CG.
Yeah, that's
But
CG.
aside from that,
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was on a cliffside overlooking the Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
But one of the first scenes was when one of the pilots was being chased by some Zeros.
Yeah.
And there was some pretty hairy flying going on. I would have hated to be the backseat gunner in those planes. Those are light attack bombers.
the Dauntless.
Yeah, the Dauntless. Yeah, I'm like,
DC.
dude.
I forget the call sign. It's something DC-3, not a DC-3, but I know it's
Something like
Dauntless.
that,
It's
yeah.
a Dauntless, is
Yeah.
what it is.
That
was pretty interesting.
The dogfight scenes were actually pretty
Phenomenal.
Well, like I said, that's what made Pearl Harbor. If you watch Pearl Harbor, just fast forward, skip all the love interest.
Now, I will
stuff.
say the Pearl
fast
Harbor
forward.
attack in this movie
Oh yeah,
pretty
it was
phenomenal.
pretty eerie. It was
yeah.
very
intense,
intense.
real intense.
Wow.
And there was like,
It was like standing in the middle of a barbecue.
yeah, it really was. Yeah, and they did make some good connections of people that knew people as that happened.
Yeah.
Dude, it was nuts. I mean, if it's the price of admission is worth just seeing that.
Just seeing that.
And also, too, I was shocked. Woody Harrelson played Nimitz.
Oh, really?
He did a good job.
He did a really good job.
Yeah, he did a good job.
That's great.
I
So
was
he did
impressed.
Zombieland, and then he did this.
Right.
But I'm a big fan of Woody Harrelson.
He's hard not to like in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't they poo-poo him for his fucking politics or whatever.
You got to be able to look past that if you're going to go see a movie nowadays.
Fucking shit, I'm here to see a movie.
Right.
damn it.
As long as you're not telling me that shit while I'm watching the movie, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about this at length before on the side about, when you go to a movie, you're going to be entertained. I'm not going for a history lesson.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do that, I'm going to hit the books.
Yeah, no,
You know?
that's true.
I'm going to go to a library or do some research and read a book.
I don't know. I kind of like them to be historically accurate because generally I've looked at the history before I went and seen the movie.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't stick with history, I'm like, oh, this is pissing me off.
If U.S. had a couple of TIE fighters in that fucking movie,
Oh my God,
it would have been a whole different.
What was that one where the modern aircraft carrier showed up in Pearl Harbor? What was that movie?
Oh, I can't remember
that?
now. Yeah, it had a nuclear powered
was
aircraft
it like
carrier.
something Countdown or something?
Yeah, it was like an 80s movie or something like that.
Yeah, it was an 80s movie where an aircraft carrier showed up during the Pearl Harbor. Or a modern aircraft carrier showed up during the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I thought there was another movie back probably in
Wasn't that the
early
Manhattan
2000s?
Project?
No, the Manhattan Project was
That's
when
the one
they were
went back in time, right?
Well, that
or
was
went forward in time. I can't remember that
Manhattan
movie.
would have been
That was-
something with nuclear.
Yeah.
But it was
they were
called the
cloaking-
Manhattan
They
Project.
were cloaking a battleship.
Right.
And
okay.
Michael Pere ended up showing up in the future.
Yeah,
at
that's
his
it.
wife's, and he was fading in and out because all these guys were all molded in the hull of the ship and stuff.
Yeah.
Wasn't that called the Philadelphia experiment?
It might have been. Maybe I got my titles all
and they were
screwed up.
they tried to
But
get
they were calling it the Manhattan
it wasn't
Project.
the Tom Hanks one. It wasn't the gay sailor
So
thing.
it's like it was all it's sailor with AIDS. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, but that was a pretty good movie.
That was in the 80s. So
I have that look on my.
Yeah, you did.
He looks like he's going there.
I saw that when I said Philadelphia experiment. I knew right away where,
Oh, just a heads up, if I sound different, it's because I'm under the weather today. I've got a cough and a cold, but we're going to gut it out here. And
sound like you've been chain smoking.
yeah, I feel like I've been chain smoking. So
Well, it's funny because we have the ultimate respect for anybody that's served in any capacity. I mean, if you showed up and you're doing something to defend the country, we're all for that.
yeah, that's
But
awesome.
What I think is interesting is there was an Instagram, one of these popular, I think his name's Millennial Mike, I think is his name.
Right. I think he's over in the UK.
Yeah, in the UK, and they were talking about Saving Private Ryan. I think was the movie that got it started.
It
about
was.
how violent that was, and he was talking about after watching the movie he had PTSD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poor baby.
yeah.
I hope that the moment that phrase came out of his mouth, somebody fucking crushed that dude.
Yeah,
Well,
just bitch slapped him right
Yeah,
there.
they kind of did verbally. They were basically saying this happened so that you can live free today. That's the reason why this happened. And when you look at the sacrifice, I mean, so we're coming down to the very end of World War II veterans being alive.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in their 90s now. They're in their 90s and 100s, and there's still a couple of them left. I think the last Pearl Harbor survivor just
Died
passed
just
away.
recently. I saw that.
And so that piece of history just kind of goes away and tends to get rewritten.
Yeah.
And so listening to this kid, whine and cry about these, we shouldn't be exposed to these kind of
his
things.
point, he finally got to a point to where he was trying to make a point of we shouldn't expose children to this because it's too stressful for them.
Right.
History has now become too stressful for them to take.
So,
Unbelievable.
so people want him to see Schindler's List. And
that really
and they
fucked
want
him
to take him to Auschwitz just so he can see the...
yeah.
So this guy's talking about people getting anxiety from
Yes.
reading words.
Yes.
Or watching a movie that has so much graphic
just
content.
history in general. History in general.
Yeah.
He finally got to a point where he said, we really shouldn't learn about World War II because it's too stressful. That was his whole point.
Yeah.
So what about fucking video games that?
Oh,
do the same
exactly.
thing? It's like,
Exactly.
You don't
Yeah.
even have to get. You don't even have to open a book. The most popular activity at home right now,
Right.
would be playing video games. And
Generally
you've got-
first-person shooters, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
Of any kind, whether you're throwing a staff, a stone, or a spell,
Yeah.
it's still violence, right?
Right.
So it's anyway. I just thought it was funny that this kid was out there whining and crying. But what I thought was more interesting is I know I sent you guys this the other day. We were watching a movie, and when it ended, for some reason I was watching the credits because I just didn't want to get up and cut it off.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, it said this motion picture used sustainable strategies to reduce its carbon emissions and environmental impact. And then below it says green is universal.
Yeah, you sent me this. I do
Yeah.
remember this.
That probably ruined the movie for you, I would
It
think.
really did. I was rolling on the ground laughing. So what I want to do is kind of devote this to the veterans, of course, but also want to say that we went out of our way to put as much carbon back into the atmosphere as we possibly could.
So I'm
Right.
gonna leave here and fucking rev on my engine.
I am
for
too. I may
5
just sit
minutes
there and just
before I leave.
yeah.
I think that's a
that'll
good
make
idea.
me delete my truck just so I can coal the neighborhood. you
Yeah.
know? But anyway, I just thought it was we're talking about a lot of subliminal things that people don't really catch on to anymore. I remember back in the day when Saturday Night Live was on, and Chevy Chase used to do Subliminal Man.
Yeah.
Remember that? He would sit there and he would say, today we have it's bad for you, and it's really good for you. It was one of those.
He was the perfect guy for that too, because he could pull that. Only other person that could have done that was Dan Aykroyd. Maybe.
Double talk. That's all they were good at.
Yes.
And so I don't know. I just thought that was funny to see that now they're pumping that message up front of everybody.
Yeah.
But then they don't tell you that they use trains, planes, cars, and motorized equipment, all these things to make these things happen. When you send something Amazon, it's going on a jet.
Yeah.
And then it's going to go on a truck, and it's going to end up in a van. It's going to end up at your house.
Right.
Or a diesel powered generator was running 24/7
to make it happen,
for the last 6 months to provide power to this thing. No one tells you that part.
I know, which I just thought that was funny. But, we do this. There for a while, we hit a spell. We were like, man, what do we talk about? There's just nothing. But now it's like, there's too much to talk about. This week
just exploded, man. There's so much crap on the board between us all going back and forth.
So I'm going to let you guys just run. You just start something because there's a lot on the board.
That's scary.
There is.
Well, we did have that conversation going before we got started, and it kind of flows in with what we were talking about a while ago, and it has to do with social media.
Oh, here we go.
And I got all spun up because I run a board.
Facebook in general.
And we're just going to call it is social media because they all do this, though, to a degree.
But Facebook is like, okay, so I'm going to tangent. So I was watching the news last night, whatever channel my parents, because my parents are still of the generation of 6 p.m. news.
Yeah.
So it was like local news, Channel 11 or whatever. And the message I got from this person who was doing this story is essentially basically close your Facebook account / social media account, and it will actually improve your quality of life and give you productivity.
Right.
So the first thing that popped in my head was, okay, so basically Facebook has become the smoking, the bad smoking habit of social media.
Right.
Which thusly I created a fucking meme.
Right.
Because I was like, okay, I will post this just to see where their algorithm goes as far as like, okay, I didn't say anything that was controversial, other than I basically...
You were going to see if you got deleted, kind of, or censored maybe?
Or at least pulled down.
Yeah.
Somebody come along and tell me that I broke a community standards deal, whatever. But to me, it was like poking the bear.
Yeah. Which we've been doing lately. So
a lot of that,
yeah. So I run this board, and there's a lot of us on it. We've Ken and Graham are on it. So we start off with this guy's name that is the whistleblower, right? So Facebook.
Well, he's alleged.
Okay, so
he's an alleged whistleblower.
That's true.
It's not even confirmed.
Context is the impeachment hearings are going on right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the whole big deal is not out in this supposed fucking whistleblower's name, even though it's already out there.
Right. It's on all the major networks. Everybody's covered it. Yeah. Prince covered it. It's out there, right?
Was it like
Camilla, or Eric
Sierra Mello?
Sierra Mello. There you go.
Yeah.
The Chupacabra.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
Thank God for phonics.
So it cranks up on one of the boards that I have running, and if you post this guy's name, Facebook takes it down.
Like immediately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty quickly. So I wake up, I get on, and I'm going to start posting my stuff for the day, and I get these notices from Facebook that so many messages have been removed from my board, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I actually responded to one of them too.
Did you?
I had, yeah, because I was like, okay, because the way that they phrased it is you're sort of implying that our group is endorsing like sedition and some kind of violence and stuff like that. And at no point has anybody...
No, I mean, all we did was say his name.
Yeah.
So that was the interesting part. So I wake up to this, and interestingly enough, I get on there, and it's frustrating me because I'm a free speech guy. I mean, I don't care if it's speech I hate. You should be able to say whatever it is you want to say.
Yeah, I can just walk away and not listen to you. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't have to hear you.
Right.
So I'm aggravated by this. I'm aggravated that we can't mention this guy's name. So I get on the group and I'm like, look, here's an idea. I'm wanting to pull down my message board and basically delete my social media footprint. And for the very reason of, I don't want Facebook making money off me. I'm their commodity. I'm how they make money.
Right.
And it pisses me off that these Nazis are making money off of me, and I'm providing that source of income for them.
How dare you rebel against the empire?
We are Facebook cattle.
Yeah.
Facebook cattle.
We're what?
Facebook cattle.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So when you look at yourself that way, it becomes kind of frustrating. So I put the question out there. I left it up to the group. I'm like, look, this is what I'm thinking about doing. What do y'all think? Overwhelmingly, I've got the answer. Basically, don't let them push you off social media. That's what they want. They want you off.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want.
It is. And we went through this point, counterpoint, and I ended up leaving the group up for the very reason of, one, there was a consensus of that was the logic. But I'm still not convinced. I need somebody to convince me that leaving my account up is a good idea for them to be able to make money off of me.
Well, now the making money off you, they're a business. They're going to figure out a way to monetize you somehow.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but I'm supporting that. But
I love being the pea that's buried under the fucking mattress.
No, I get that, but I hear you. So I have a question, and hopefully you can answer it. So the only way they can be monetized is through how many ads they push through you.
Exactly.
Okay. And the other way would be if you purchased anything from those ads that adds value to them selling more ads.
It does.
Basically.
Even clicking on them actually does that.
Right. Because so Facebook, any kind of Facebook ad has not prompted me to buy anything.
It hasn't me either.
You know, it really hasn't.
Now,
but I have gone and looked. Like some of the drone stuff will pop up on there, and I get interested. I'll click on that. You know, I'll go look at it.
And for me, music. It'll be instruments. Now,
all that kind of stuff.
The only time if I'm presented something that I don't really care about, if I see it enough times, I'll actually say,
quit showing me this.
Stop showing me.
Yeah.
Because I will go through
I'm the same way
to do this, because I want you to know that I don't want to fucking see this.
Right.
And if I have to do it like 5 or 6 times, I'll fucking do that too.
Right.
But there are some stuff that they show me that I'm like, okay, I like this. I like the guitar stuff. I like the music stuff.
Something new will inevitably pop up. Some sort of new drone or something along those lines, or a tool or something that catches my eye, and I do click on it.
Right.
I'm a sucker for it. I'll jump on something that interests me.
Mm-hmm.
So in that aspect, they do make money off of me, and it irritates me that these alleged purveyors of free speech are
I wouldn't even go that far.
Yeah, that's pretty well. That's
how they position themselves.
It is how they position themselves. Is social. The very nature of what you're telling me, social media, that in its own right implies that it's free.
Their
speech.
community standard statement.
My response to you last night was it's social media is fine, but not your kind of social media.
Exactly.
Not that kind.
We just don't like you.
Yeah.
You're kind of anti-social. Hey, maybe that's what we should start as an anti-social media. I think it would be successful to a small, large degree.
Well,
so
I see a meme of some sort of cattle or livestock reference coming very soon.
I like where your head's at.
Just to like, even if it hits the small sphere of influence I have, I have no idea where it's going to grow from that.
Hey, you never know what's going to take off. You know what I mean? You might be the next viral that gets out there, and I say, I knew that guy.
Yeah, our new greeting now amongst social media is moo.
Exactly.
Moo.
Yeah, you're the next chick cat dude. You know, you're going to be the one with the chick cat dude. That's going to be you, Graham. You're going to hit one of those. I'm going to be like, I knew that guy. Exactly. But no, like I said, I became conflicted in that I hate that I'm providing these people that are allegedly providing this service and then censoring me all at the same time just for saying a guy's name.
So what kind of pain do you think that you provide to them?
On the flip side, probably pretty great considering the crap that I post.
So as far as I'm concerned, that's a silver lining you need to be concentrating on.
Okay. I mean, like I said, I this is one of those show me where I'm wrong moments.
Yeah.
So
wait a minute though. This is a group of people that chose to be in your group.
They are.
So there is no offense to anybody within the group.
No, they like it.
Oh yeah.
So where do
In
they
fact,
get,
they were egging it on.
Yeah.
They're worse than me.
I know. Where do they get off then telling you
What
how
I
you
can
and
say
your
to my
friends
audience.
can connect to your audience?
Exactly.
I can see if you're putting it on blast. That's one thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
But when
I
you're
agree.
within a group, that should be sacred ground.
This is a private group that
Yeah.
nobody else can see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and so that's the part that I struggle with is the fact that they basically look at your content
yeah.
and decide
Behind
that-
a wall.
behind a wall, and look at what you can and cannot discuss amongst your friends. I can see, honestly, maybe being a little bit sensitive about what goes out there, because I will tell you, I'm always on social media,
Yeah.
and a lot of the stuff. So I have a friend that always calls me when she gets in a jam, because she'll put
Like a
something.
social media jam, like she's pissed a bunch of people off or
Yeah,
something?
and then what'll end up happening is all her liberal friends start attacking her.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, step one, get rid of all your liberal friends.
Yeah.
is what I would do. And step two, just let me loose on them. So she gets me, and I jump on them. But here's what's funny: I'm not crass or anything like that. I just hit them with facts.
Right.
And this latest one that we were talking about was this Somali girl won election in back east somewhere,
Okay.
New Hampshire or something like that.
Right.
And there's a picture of her floating around shooting a middle finger off at a camera that made social media.
Okay.
Well, somebody put it to a meme and made it sound like, hey, I just won this election, fuck you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is wrong, okay? That
Out
was
of context.
Out of context, okay?
Right.
But her friend jumped her and said, you need to fact check. This isn't true. Well, it is true. She did sit there and shoot the middle finger and have a photograph of it published, and it went all around the world.
Right.
Several years before she ran.
Right.
Okay? She's in public office now. So everything she says and does is fair game.
That's right. You've made yourself a public official.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So when Facebook says you cannot disparage this young lady because it's a hate crime,
Right. Well, that was the interesting thing.
that's
so,
a big deal.
Right. Well, and here's the other interesting part of it was the reason that we were being censored. If I went back and looked, and I kind of deep dove and tried to look at what Facebook was telling me.
Right.
Basically, they got to the crux of the problem. Said the name that you're trying to mention
Yeah.
is not technically factually accurate as to he is the whistleblower
Okay.
for these. And I'm like, wait a minute, how are you making that determination?
Right.
Because Adam Schiff told him he was the one who did it.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. So
What I
that
think is
was
funny
the
is
irritating part
They're all
of it.
whining and crying about death threats.
Yeah.
Death threats. This guy's getting death threats. Well, if it's anonymous, how do you threaten an anonymous person? I don't understand that.
Yeah,
statement
that's
at
not
all.
making a whole lot of
Yeah,
sense to me
I
either.
don't get how you can receive a death threat when you're anonymous.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Okay, so
Or even real.
did y'all happen to look at any of the hearing yesterday? Or?
Just enough to make my head
enough
explode.
that my blood pressure. No, I watched some of it. I watched the opening statements.
Okay, I watched way more than probably y'all did, only
Right.
because I don't know how it got on the TV, but I suddenly kind of got drawn into it because this one. I don't
That
remember-
surprises me because that's not normally your.
Yeah.
You don't normally do that, but I'm interested to see how this went for you.
Well, okay, so I started hearing statements that I'm like, okay, what you? Okay, so let's just talk about evidence.
Okay.
Evidence is something that it's first person of some sort. I was there. I saw it. I heard it.
It's a fact-based reality, tangible
witnessed
thing.
Something.
Right.
And so now you've got this elected, this guy that sits on what is it, intelligence committee?
The Intelligence Committee.
Who is now saying that hearsay.
He's the
is-
Chicago representative.
Yeah.
He's from Chicago. His name is. It's a nerdy name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can see his face.
I can see the guy's face in my head.
Yeah, he's from Chicago. It's the representative out of Chicago, Illinois.
But the guy making the statement that sometimes, and a lot of times, hearsay evidence is better than actual evidence.
Yeah.
And I was like, that. I think that statement alone.
You and I had a good back and forth on
'Cause
Facebook about that.
As soon as they said that, I was like, okay, I'm in. I am in.
That sucked you in.
What kind of fucking planet are you from?
Right.
Where hearsay becomes the same thing as I witnessed something.
Right. Well, it makes me think. First off, the guy doesn't understand what the word hearsay means. Hearsay is exactly what it sounds like. I heard somebody say. That is what hearsay is. That means somebody said this about you, and now I'm going to believe it as fact.
Well,
Hearsay.
what he's done though, what he's done is he's defined that statement and qualified it to uneducated listeners.
Yes,
Well, sure.
exactly.
You have to realize that that's all they're looking for validation for.
Right.
Is the soundbite.
Right. So you got the guy with the 85 IQ that goes, yeah. man, hearsay.
So here's what's funny. So my cousin,
It's all that Starbucks coffee they drink.
my cousin is in law enforcement, and he's on sort of the evidentiary side of it. So he works for a very large police organization in another state. So what's funny?
He's a ducks in a row guy, right? I mean, this
he is. But the thing is if anybody has questions about evidence and actually what fucking evidence is,
right,
it would be anybody, me, to him.
Right.
I get this freaking message from him earlier today. Him asking, he's like, hey, I know that you watched this hearing. I'm actually kind of curious to get your take on this. Now, like for me, I was sitting at lunch and I said, really, there is no difference. Okay, having been around fucking elected officials in Afghanistan, and then these elected officials here, I was like, really, if you line them up side by side, there is no fucking
the bank account's about the only difference, right?
The only difference between them is, one, you can get away with murder a little bit easier over there than you can here, because there they explained it away. It was inshallah.
Yeah.
That here they just they hire the Clintons to go do
Epstein.
Yeah.
You get Epstein, dude.
So but what I heard in their conversations is, okay, so evidence isn't this, it's this.
Yeah.
It's you're explaining away what hate speech is not this, it's this.
Yeah.
Anything that offends me suddenly becomes
What's this
the new
redefinition?
definition.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's redefined. Everything is redefined. How can you say hearsay is always, anytime you've ever heard that in a court instance, if you go back and listen at what Perry Mason would say hearsay was, it was
Right.
always thrown out.
Yeah, and you watch like L.A. Law, all of the
Up until
the lawyer
recent-
shows where you would hear a lawyer go,
That's hearsay.
You don't hear shit like that anymore now,
Right.
or
No.
you won't at least after this.
Now that we have the new definition of
that's
what
fucking
hearsay
crazy
is.
as shit.
And it's pretty typical, though. I hate to keep saying NLP, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's the whole, you're reshaping the story, you're redefining it, and you're deflecting from facts. And what I think is funny about this whole thing is the fact that they're pissed off at Trump.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, first of all, he's a billionaire that didn't need any money when he gets in office.
Right.
He's got his own money, gives away all his paycheck. Well, all these people that went in office went in broke.
And came out rich. Right.
So what he's done is, as an independent businessman, he got to run all these circles with all these people. He probably heard all these deals they've
He
all been
knows
involved-
all the skeletons,
He knows where everything's
dude.
at.
Yeah.
Biden got caught with his hand in a fucking cookie jar.
Right.
Okay, so Pelosi's kid was on a payroll for Ukrainian oil and gas. Biden's kid was on oil and gas with China.
Romney's kid.
Romney's kid,
He's one that came out against.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. They're all
So
in
that
on it.
happened. That
Yeah.
happened right after this all started coming out, and Romney opened his mouth and said, "Yeah, Trump." This is when Romney started moving again towards the Trump Orange Man bad thing.
So
Right.
so now we're moving more towards the appearance of an oligarchy then.
Yes, exactly what's happened. So what's happened is, as you drain the swamp,
Exactly.
you start finding cars and bodies and trunks and shit that you didn't know was under the water.
Right.
All Trump has done, and they're pissed off at because he's exposed this whole fraud against
lowering that water level.
lower that water level, and the taxpayers are all sitting here caught
going, wait a minute. The smart ones are sitting back going, wait a minute. They can see this crap, dude.
Yeah.
And we've known this, but
Yeah.
now it's getting really exposed. So, yeah, I thought it was interesting that Romney came out with Orange Man Bad. And it wasn't a week later we found out that one of Romney's kids was also part of the Ukrainian natural gas and oil scheme. He had touched.
And
So I would want to. So okay, real quickly, I would want to know who that journalist was that exposed that,
and if they're
'Cause
still alive.
well, that plus I would want to read more from them, because if you're exposing information
Yeah.
like that, I want to know that, because I'm not.
That's a source you want to go hit.
I'm not party. I have no loyalty to a party.
Right.
I loyalty because I want to know the truth.
Exactly.
Sounds- Same way.
Even if the truth is ugly,
Right.
Because like
Hey,
one
it
of
comes down to what we've talked about. There's things that Trump does that I can't stand.
Yeah.
I mean, there's truth there that I look at that guy and go, God damn, that's stupid, dude. Why did
Yeah.
you do that? but at least I know the truth. It's like you said, at least I know where I stand with this guy. With these other people, here's what you're dealing with. So the Republicans had the House for 2 years before the Democrats took control. They didn't put up a border wall. They didn't fix health care. They didn't do anything that they campaigned on, right? They let it all slide. Now that campaigns are coming back around again, I guarantee you the same people that didn't vote for that stuff are going to turn right around again and campaign on putting up a border wall, fixing health care. Exactly. They're going to come right back in and tell you how they're going to fix it when they had the chance. They didn't. And this is your Romneys, your Lindsey Grahams, all these people that claim to be on your side.
There's another piece of shit. That
exactly.
I want that dude
gone. Get out.
So,
Mitch McConnell, all of you, we're tired of you people.
My favorite thing is Trump, though, when he goes, you know what? He's a loser. Yeah. Romney has always been a loser.
Yeah.
He always has been.
Yeah.
He's never been winner on anything, okay?
Yeah.
And he takes advantage of his Mormonism.
Yes.
Massively.
He plays that card.
He plays
huge.
it hard.
Yeah. It's like the race card for some people with him.
Yeah.
Does he have a strong following amongst the
it's
LDS
split.
people?
It's split. Because a lot of people that know...
a bunch of passive motherfuckers anyway.
Well, they can be, yeah. What I think is funny is with any religion, okay, let's just go here for just a minute. With any religion, everybody aspires to follow a doctrine.
Yeah.
Until that doctrine no longer becomes comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay? So a lot of these dudes may walk through the path of life with great intention until they get into political office.
And then it becomes a tool.
It becomes a tool. And it becomes
tool in the tool bag.
A convenience, an opportunity to hide behind.
Yeah.
Not only is it a shield, it's also an opportunity to get a door open. Okay? It's an opportunity to... If you're philanthropic and you give a lot of money to a cause,
right,
it draws other people to you, so you get more money back. And I think it's really sad with political allies, especially because I'm like you. I used to be a conservative Republican, then I was a Jeffersonian Constitutionalist, which I really kind of still am.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got to look at what Trump's doing.
Yeah.
Now, this guy knows that they're going to dig up every piece of dirt on this guy. They tried with the Billy Bush thing.
Yeah.
Or that reporter with the story about grabbing
the cooch.
Okay, that blown up. And then God dang, how many other thieves? The whole collusion, Russian collusion was another one.
You had him with the porn star,
Yeah.
Stormy Daniels.
Yep.
You had him with, you had the Russian collusion. Now you got this going down.
Yeah, and it's like...
It's just been one right after the other.
And it's all started even before he got into office.
Yeah.
It was while he was running. So they know that he knows where the bodies are.
Yeah.
And you got to know that whole phone call thing was leaked on purpose to expose Biden.
Yeah.
Because if he exposed Biden directly,
you
can't do that. You can't do that without getting it on you. Now, they've exposed themselves.
Yeah, he's actually opened the door, held the door open for him, and they just went rushing through to a large degree. And
I'm telling you, now everybody wants Hunter Biden investigated. They want Pelosi's son investigated now.
Yeah.
And that's going around.
Well, yeah, that's where it'll get snowballed
so
on.
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't get to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
So some news reporters were following Pelosi out of wherever the fuck she was yesterday. And I tell you what, whenever I see her on video, I mean, she really doesn't really have this really serious look on her face. She looked like she was like fucking chomping nails.
Oh yeah,
when she was walking through yesterday. So it made me wonder.
Well, she's probably pissed off because she let Shifty Shift run this, which by the way is now anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that. You can't say Shifty Shift because that's anti-Semitic. But anyway, I think she's pretty pissed off at Shift that he didn't drop the bomb like he allegedly was supposed to when he opened up.
I think they know Trump has Epstein hidden in a closet somewhere. I'm telling you,
that's going to be so awesome when they trot this guy out and say, "Oh, and by the way,
this
is our special witness."
Yeah,
this whole tactic that they're using to try and because, in my opinion, we're not about exposing the truth.
No,
our mission is to get him impeached. How by any means necessary.
Yeah.
And that's
at all costs. It doesn't matter who it costs.
That's how it appears to me. And there'll be a lot of people that like with some of the pages that I post to, the two fucking idiot twin kids that
Yeah.
that
They're still around.
yeah,
The Krakensteins.
yeah, the Krakenstein. So, and they think that it's that I am like Republican, and I'm not. I'm like I'm fucking for the truth.
Right.
So
There you go. So that's exactly the point. The whole labelization of this thing.
yeah.
Therefore you speak, therefore you are. This is not true because they tell you can't be racist because you don't know this guy. But yet they don't want to get to know what you're thinking about or where you come from.
Right. It doesn't matter. That
It
part
doesn't matter.
That's
So
right.
so you can't look at that as I'm going to have an intellectual debate with you now.
Right. No, we're on two different. We're on two totally different planes of existence.
That has went out the window years ago.
Yeah.
They count on you being argumentative so that they can continue to slam and slander you.
Exactly.
The best part, I'm telling you, man, the best part is just to go deep zen.
Right.
Don't lose your cool.
I think it's a good character builder to walk through fucking life with a bunch of enemies.
Hey, I have no
It'll
problem
make
with
you
that either.
tough.
Fuck yeah,
It does, as long as you don't let them rattle you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
If you keep
It
your
just
shit
brings
together,
a goddamn smile to my face.
Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
see, they
what am I
can't
gonna do to you tomorrow?
Yeah.
Cupcake.
and they can't stand that, and that's what gets them every time because they're used to the masses bowing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Graham's special emotional disorder really puts him in his own category where
Yeah,
he
I
can
call
do
it
some cool
it's a-
stuff
call it
like
a
that.
gift.
it's a man for
I
the
didn't
times.
get. That's what I was driving at. I didn't mean it as a negative.
Yeah. So you remember the Stuart Smiley things? I like myself.
Yeah.
Sam,
Darn
you,
it.
you need to do that.
Yeah.
Darn it.
I'm worth it.
Darn it. I'm a fucking prick. I'm worth it. Because
That's awesome.
I think I would wake up to that every day on my alarm clock.
Are we talking about adding a video component to this?
We possibly could be. I could just see with the
as long as your clothes are on, I can handle it.
with the big Psycho the Clown T-shirt
See, there
on.
you
You
go.
know,
Goddamn restrictions.
Yeah,
There.
there you go. But no, you gotta. What you gotta do is you gotta let them know they can't push you around.
Yeah.
And you can't lose your shit doing it because what you're seeing is a lot of tactics that are blowing up in their face.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the president has more support now than he's ever had.
I see him getting elected in 2020 in a huge landslide. They've really just guaranteed that he's elected again.
Yeah, and my concern though is as ruthless as these people are, what they'll try to do to that man next.
So
I'm a little concerned about that.
No, I get that. I know what you're driving at. There.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
a-
most
yeah.
people listening are driving and understand what you're driving.
Yeah.
at. But
Okay, so what about the threat of impeachment as an election cycle approaches?
So see, that's where I was just getting ready to go. So it's funny you mentioned that. So here's what I think's going on. I always try to look at it and say, okay, what is the real goal here?
What's the
what
long
do you?
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the long game? I think it's money. I really think that they're trying to. So what they're doing right now, when they run through this impeachment, they know that they're going to lose people, but I think they're building a war chest for the future. This is just Todd's opinion,
Sure, yeah.
but I see it as a campaign tool for them and basically a money builder for them. They can go to their donors and say, "Well, to beat him, we need this big war chest."
But will they allow an election to go forward if you're talking about a commander in chief who's now who's going through impeachment proceedings? That's what I'm.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, look
wondering.
at Clinton. Look at how it went with Clinton. They impeached Clinton. The Republicans lost huge in the next election. Clinton was elected in a landslide. So to me, I'm looking at history, saying, okay, how did this work for Clinton? Clinton actually committed a crime.
Yes.
And lied to Congress, lied under oath, and committed a crime.
He lied directly to the American people.
He did. Well, not
He
only
got
that-
on television and lied directly to the American people.
Which goes right back to what we were talking about when you start redefining words. What
Yes.
what
What
it
exactly
is. Yeah.
yeah.
But the guy lied under oath, and that's why he was impeached. You violated a law. You had an impeachable offense.
Now, one thing I will say is, okay,
I thought it was a pussy reason to impeach
people
the
get
guy.
people
I'm
get
not a Clinton
confused.
fan.
They get confused with the Richard Nixon impeachment. Richard Nixon
Resigned before he was impeached.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so whatever the truth is, it won't change what I believe, what my values are.
Exactly.
So, if I find out that Trump really fucking did this, does that mean that I'm going to suddenly say, oh, you know what? Well, the Democrats seem to have some.
They have the answer.
They
Let me
have-
vote for
Whoa,
them
wait a
now.
minute,
Fuck
wait a minute,
no.
wait a minute,
Hell
wait a
no.
minute. There's a video of Joe Biden bragging up front of the union
Yeah.
on what he did, which was quid pro quo.
Yeah.
He basically said, we're going to hold this $1 billion up until you investigate this guy. Almost word for word.
Exactly.
What they're accusing.
Told him, said, call Obama. He'll vouch it. That was awesome. Basically implicated him, too.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, why are we missing this? This is literally what they're accusing him of doing. I heard the transcript. I mean, I heard the phone call. And I read the transcript.
Now, it would be
There's
funny.
nothing in there.
There would be funny if there was suddenly a conversation that Obama's like Hillary.
Oh, and then this wackadoo.
Obama here. Is your guy busy? I got a job for him.
Yeah, I got some wet work I need done. Oh my god!
Oh my god! I just lost my thought.
Yeah,
that was really good.
That was good, Graham. You threw us all off our game with that one.
Because you sounded like Barack there.
You
for a minute.
did.
Really
That was a great impression. I do pretty good impressions, but that was.
Yeah,
I was fooled. I thought Barack was sitting across from me.
That threw me. Well, I had to look around the mic.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute.
How the fuck did he do that?
Yeah, he really is evil.
So speaking of slinging shit around, we might as well move this along. Speaking of slinging shit around, how about the dude that dumped a bucket of crap on the chicken?
Oh, the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes.
Who has a bucket of fucking diarrhea?
Ready to go.
around?
That's a skill set that I'm interested
That's a
in
guy
right
with
there.
a plan is what that is.
Exactly.
That is crazy.
I can't. So why did he dump? I didn't get the
Well,
whole story. Did we see why he actually dumped the bucket of crap on her? Did he have a
It was
reason?
Chili day.
Everything goes in the chili bucket.
Oh my god, that's terrible. I could barely get through the video. I was like, you know what? When you sent that, I read it. I'm like, do I want to watch this? Do I want to
it's
click
pretty
play and
disgusting.
actually watch this? And I'm like, I know we're going to talk about it, so I might as well have the context.
In honor of my Aerosmith T-shirt, just click play.
Just
click play.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I'll pull the article while we're visiting this.
Yeah.
Because, it's funny because going back to the chili bucket concept, I mean, that's commitment, but that's also intent.
Yeah.
To me, the guy got
arrested.
He got arrested. He spent 2 months in a psych ward.
Yeah.
And then they released him on the streets again. And I think it's pretty interesting because, anybody else would have done that. If we'd have done that, we'd have been under the jail. Just because the guy...
I couldn't have done that without vomiting, though. I would have vomited on myself first. First of all, I couldn't crap in a bucket and think, I'm fixing to sling this on
Well, I mean,
somebody.
when you first hear this, you're like, he did fucking what?
Yeah.
Who is this guy? And then he's like, well, he did a stint in freaking in the psychiatric ward. Okay.
The Pascagoula Nut House.
I have no more questions. I have no more questions.
Well, okay.
Yeah, we're done here. So it's called. They called it a Barstool Sports put this up, by the way.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Fucking
I like how
Dave.
they put it too. They go, homeless guy dumped a bucket of hot diarrhea on a woman's head. The fall of civilization remains ahead of schedule.
Yeah. Well, see right
That's
there.
awesome. I love that.
The headline's what gives it away is it's hot diarrhea. It's not cold.
Right.
The dude's got a skill set as where he can go on demand and have it ready. That's what's impressive to me.
Keep it warm.
Exactly. What do you got, a hot plate that thing's sitting on or what?
So she goes, it was liquid and it was hot. I was soaked and it was coming off my eyelashes and into my eyes.
But if you think about it, in New York, or I think even in Boston, where there's certain manholes that you can stand over where it actually is the steam pipes and shit. So it'll keep your fucking shit warm.
Well, there you go.
So it was at nighttime near the Walk of Fame. She was getting in her car.
Oh, California.
Yeah, California. Yeah. So her name's Heidi Van Tassel. She was parked in Hollywood after having an evening out with friends in a Thai restaurant of all places.
Oh, well, at least we know how he got there.
Suddenly, a man randomly pulled her out of the car, dragged her out in the middle of the street, and then dumped a bucket of shit on her head. Oh. So it was literally an attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your card's getting punched today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're the millionth customer.
There was no rhyme or reason though as to why it was done.
None whatsoever. So she has to be checked for infectious diseases.
Oh yeah,
because it got in her eyes and her mouth and everything like that.
Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry. I wouldn't leave anybody left alive associated with that. There's just no way.
Yeah. But
I'm killing everyone within 6 square blocks.
Exactly. This is just ground zero, dude. We're going
Death Star right now. Yeah. Well, it's funny because California's got this shit fetish going on right now.
Yeah.
Because in San Francisco, You shit on the streets, nothing you can do about it, right?
Whiz on
Whatever
a
you
doorstep, whatever.
But God forbid if you eat a sandwich on the deck of the BART station.
Right.
There was a video that went out last week. A guy and a girl were waiting for a train.
Right.
There was a restaurant downstairs that sold sandwiches.
Right.
So he bought the sandwich like he's been doing for months.
Yep.
Goes up on the platform and he's eating his sandwich waiting to get on the train.
Right.
He's trying to finish it before he gets on the train because you're not supposed to eat on a train.
Right.
So the BART cop comes up there and grabs basically a hold of his backpack and he's detaining him until he can get back up because they're going to arrest him
Yeah.
for eating the sandwich on the thing.
So why they said they were arresting him was he was resisting
Yeah.
arrest. Mm-hmm. So that's why they were arresting him. And it's like, well, wait a minute. If you were just going to write him a ticket, then why'd you have to grab hold of him?
Yes.
The libertarian in me jumps out at this point and says, wait a minute. Why did you have to put your hands on the guy?
Yeah.
If you were going to write the guy a ticket, you should have just wrote him a ticket and handed it to
Yeah.
him.
I mean, you know,
I didn't see. Now, I will say this. I
saw the video.
I was going to say, I saw the video and the incident is already in play at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what was said before. If the guy basically said, "F you, I'm not taking a ticket," or
or I'm not going to tell you who I am.
Yeah.
What are you hassling me for? And honestly, the officer really has to declare why he's detaining you.
Yeah, he
I don't
does.
care what anybody says. You just can't come up and grab somebody and say, "Here, you wait right here." No.
Right.
Why are you detaining me?
right, you still have rights in this country.
Exactly.
Last I checked, as
Now-
an individual.
Now, the officer may have been worried about flight. I don't know. But
Yeah.
when you're
Because
on
they are at a train station.
yeah, they are at a train station, right? Yeah, so there is an issue there.
I was arresting everybody that was eating that day.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, the guy was also kind of throwing his libertarian spin at the guy,
He was.
you know, but I think he was well within his right. I mean, honestly,
It goes back to this. What a bullshit law. What's going on with lawmakers in California where you can say it's okay to piss and shit on the
leave
sidewalk?
dirty needles and all that other stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can't eat a sandwich? You can't eat lunch in public? What
In a
is
business,
wrong with you
in
people?
a business downstairs from where you were, then why did they permit the restaurant if they don't want you to eat there? Why is the
Exactly.
restaurant in that building?
Right.
You know, that's the one thing that I thought was kind of weird about
But
that.
the real question, what I want to know is,
Pardon me.
how did this guy vote in the last election? I'd like to get the guy that was
I
eating the
bet
sandwich.
he didn't. I bet he didn't.
He might not have.
Yeah.
But he was of color. I'm just going to put it that way. It was interesting. The cop was white, and the guy that was getting arrested was of color. So I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm just interested to know what his politics are,
Right.
and how he voted, knowing how deep blue
So-
that this part of California is.
Yeah.
Standing on so whatever they call the
It's a platform that
The
you're waiting on the
platform,
train.
yeah.
So is it illegal to eat on the platform?
They made a law that said it's illegal to eat on the platform.
Is there
that's the
signs
law.
posted? You
Yes,
know?
there is. Yeah.
All right.
So that was his deal. He goes, yeah, but I've been doing this every morning. I grab a sandwich,
Yeah.
I eat it, and I go to work.
That's really
So this is a
wrong
working
fucking
stiff.
answer.
But my point is,
Yeah.
it's a working stiff.
Yes.
You elected somebody that wrote this stupid law, that's been writing stupid laws, and you keep voting them in.
So is it
That's
on-
that's the point that I get.
Is it
to.
within the entire train station or at the platform?
That platform is where it was.
So
the platform.
if it's just a matter of, hey, sir,
Just
can you
move. Yeah.
Can you just step
There
like
you go.
5 feet over that way?
yeah.
Yeah.
Finish your focus. Finish
Right.
your sandwich. Fucking problem solved.
Yeah,
Right.
But you're dealing with L.A., so you know it's not
Well,
that simple.
Francisco.
San Francisco. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not that simple. You're not going to be able to do that. You and I both know that. While that's idyllic, you know that's not reality, and that's how shit goes down there.
Yeah.
Well, my video can't go viral if I don't make it go viral.
Eh, That's true too.
Well, this is true. Well, you know, while we're talking about shit and we're talking about another state going to shit, Denver
Yeah.
has a homeless problem as well. And so apparently there's no law against a homeless person taking a shit on your sidewalk or in your driveway
Oh
or
wow.
in front of your house.
In
But-
Denver.
What?
In Denver. But if you, as a homeowner, don't clean it up, the city will fine you.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah.
So is a homeless person the same thing as like wildlife? Is that what the?
So I was getting ready to go there. I was like, so when you have a feral, so if you have
we got
feral humans running
here.
around the city, you kind of got to wonder because the danger to the civil humans
Right.
that are in the area is actually exponentially growing. The crime, I'm reading crime rates right now, and just the assaults have went up from in 2017 to 2018. It went from 500 to 1,500.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's triple.
That's triple. That's a big jump.
That's huge.
That's just reported.
Right. That's not the ass beatings that took place that didn't get reporting.
So I
Excuse
want
me.
how large a jump from what to what?
500 to 1,500. That's triple.
in a year.
In a year.
Yeah.
They're saying
So
in a year.
I would be kind of curious to know of those numbers that jumped, how many are from the area versus people who moved to the area. And
The other correlation is what would be between 2017 and 2018 the existence of Taco Bells and people taking dumps and the ass beatings that took place because of that.
Right.
That's what I want to know. That's where the real statistic is, in my opinion.
Well, so the story goes on just a little bit more. She's talking about how traumatic this has been to her.
oh
Okay.
my God, Jesus fucking
And now
Christ.
there's a PTSD discussion going on with this now.
From dumps taking place on lawns?
on her. No, this is I went back to Frisco.
Okay.
Or North. I'm sorry, Hollywood Boulevard.
Sorry.
And the shit bucket story.
Yeah. I'm tracking.
So what ends up happening is you start now when you get into court and you're trying to win a case. We all know it's not black and white anymore.
Right.
So you have to be catastrophic. You have to go over the top. So what ends up happening is you always remember the people who used to get a car wreck. The first thing they put on was a cervical collar.
Victim out, dude. You got to victim out.
That's the right way to put it. So they're wearing a cervical collar and they come walking in like they can't hardly move.
Yeah.
Well, now they're doing it verbally by telling you that you have
they need to replace
PTSD.
small court
Bill Murray and Wild
small
Things.
court sessions with fucking cage fighting.
Yes. Yes.
Cage fight, yeah.
Toughen you up. It would definitely be more interesting to watch, and it would toughen you
I
up.
think they should put you in a cage with a cobra. A cobra, you know?
That'll do it.
Or put you in a dark closet with a flashlight and tell you there's a cobra in there. And then when you click the flashlight, the batteries don't fucking work.
Because
Even
people would
better.
be like, hey,
Yeah.
how does a fucking cobra sound?
Yeah. And then you record it in night vision
There you go.
and televise it. Then that way it's like, it's like Fear Factor. You just get Rogan to host the thing.
I'm starting to wonder if there's any problem we can't solve here. I'm pretty
telling
sure
you.
that we
Now, what
can.
would be funny is, okay, so let's just say, like you said, they record it in night vision.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And they make you stay in this cage for,
Right.
let's just say, like 2 or 3 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And then you're removed from the cage, and then you get to see the video
Yeah.
of
yourself?
of yourself
There you go.
in night vision, and they have somehow or another been able to digitally make a snake look like it appeared in what was really an empty cage.
Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, man. The special effects would be awesome. Man.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, that's
oh my
amazing.
God, this thing was like damn near breathing my air.
That would be fun. I don't know. This San Francisco's losing it. I mean, now they've authorized the use of therapy pigs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so they passed an ordinance now to where therapy pigs are there to help homeless people and
Right on.
people in psychological need. And I will tell you, growing up on a farm,
Yeah.
pigs eat everything.
Yeah.
So what'll end up happening? Can you imagine somebody's out there walking their pig and it breaks loose?
Well, it's going to be a heroin pig by the time it gets soon for me.
There you go. Yeah.
It's
So
going to
you
be a
have
pig
a-
addicted to heroin.
So you have a cracked out
yeah.
porker running around
Wild ass
destroying
pig.
shit. I mean, we got hog problems in Texas like you wouldn't believe.
Right.
It's like now I suddenly just had the instance of I wonder if there's such a thing as heroin laced bacon.
But hey, but we're missing something.
Right.
Johnny Cochran, here's an idea for you. Find you a homeless Islamist, and now you've got a lawsuit because now you've got wild pigs running loose, and you've got a homeless guy that's an
Ooh,
Islamist. How's he going to deal with
I
that?
just suddenly thought letting pigs run loose in certain neighborhoods in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's a
man.
city. That's a city lawsuit waiting to happen right there. So just keep that put that in your pipe and smoke it there, Cochran.
California lawmakers, I'm telling you, that would be fun. Well, going back to California, crazy Kamala
Yeah.
is out
that
there now.
Crazy
Yeah.
idea with is this the one
Extending
where
school
extended
days.
the school days
Yeah.
for the kids?
The Dantonitos.
Oh yeah.
It's what
that's
you
right,
want. We
that's
need
right.
a dancing. You got the dancing Edos. We need the dancing Kamalas.
Kamalas,
That'd
yeah.
be pretty funny.
Yeah. So apparently, she thinks that they should extend school.
Yeah.
Throughout, how long was it?
It was to coincide with the regular workday.
Workday. Yeah, like a regular job.
Which, like,
Yeah.
when we were talking about it, is like, okay, for some people, they looked at it as kind of a babysitting
Sure,
sort of
yeah.
service. And other people looked at it as, okay, now you're talking about kids staying more in the custody of the government and receiving
More indoctrination.
Well, that's exactly what it
exactly
turns
is,
into.
yeah. And I thought that was kind of funny. So she's doing everything to Is she hoping this stuff sticks to the wall?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
She's down to 1% in the polls, so I don't
so
see her. She's hanging on the edge. She's got the fingertips on.
Okay, so is she still eligible to go to like the big show Democratic?
She's right on the cusp of
the
that.
national convention.
Yeah, because now don't they still do the two debates where you have the major opponents and then the other
I
ones?
think they're getting pretty thin, so it's probably going to be cut down to one on this next one.
So
It's thinned out. You got rid of Beto Mel O'Rourke.
Yeah.
He's gone.
Is Booker even still around?
He is. He still pops up. He's still in the running.
I don't see him anywhere.
He's ahead. He's actually ahead of Kamala. I heard this on the way home where she's
Really?
she's down to 1%, and that's hanging on. That's the fingertips.
She was bitching the other day about how people weren't supporting her. They're being racist.
Yeah.
That's her own party.
Yeah, that's her own party
Her
that
own
doesn't want
party's
her.
not-
That's
doesn't
basically
want
what they
So
said.
It's the logic of I'm going to go through all the
It's the
throes,
default. It's the default.
and suddenly the actual solution is people are racist.
Yes.
That's why they don't get behind me. Like,
You want to see him reach into a back pocket and pull a list out and then start checking it off and say, okay, I'm down to this.
not one
Remember
of
the wheel
reasons,
of fish?
Yeah.
Not one of the reasons that you gave involves color or culture
No.
at all. But
No.
yet
Yeah.
you arrive at color and culture.
Every
Yeah.
time.
How
That's what
about
I'm saying. They got a list. You just reach into the back pocket, pull the list out. Okay, we're checking this one off now.
1 + 1 = 5.
How about I'm a no talent hack?
Yeah, that
would be-
doesn't make the list.
doesn't
That's
make
not on the list.
Yeah, well,
Fucking dumb.
you know, it's funny because so she's selling this thing as an innovative pilot program to schools.
Uh-huh.
She says it provides before and after school activities for children during the workday.
Shit still costs money.
Peace of mind for the working parents, and reduce the cost of childcare
Right.
for parents. So it's a pandering move.
So in California running like a $400 billion deficit.
Oh, yeah,
if I'm not
they're-
mistaken.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
literally, it's like $400 billion.
Now she's also positioning the state to be a direct competitor against child care companies too by doing that.
That's the
Oh.
least of her problems,
There
I'm
you go.
sure. I'm sure she'd be more than happy to shut private industry down. So
oh sure.
Well, what's amazing to me is what is the end game with them running people from California? I know, so they're running them to Texas.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're more and more we're getting more blue influence into the state.
Right.
I think maybe 2 years ago. How long have we been doing this?
The podcast still
yeah.
out 2 years.
We're
Yeah.
on 2 years.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were talking about an NPR show that was it was here in Houston, and it was the mayor. What was her name?
Elise? Not.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah.
Anise Parker.
Anise Parker. No, not Elise.
Yeah,
Anise Parker.
It was
that's
her and a bunch of other people were on an NPR show talking about how to get Texas blue,
Yep.
how to make it purple. And so all this thing has been in play. Well, Harris County, they're picking up this whole universal background check thing now.
Yeah.
Where they want to adopt more of these type California things. Now, I guess Mayor Turner won.
Yeah, it's
I
looking
mean, it
like
was
it.
almost like it was like.
What's a run? No, this is a runoff.
Is
was
it? Or
there?
did it go to a
Yeah.
runoff?
is
I
it-
never
is it
saw where-
Busby.
Yeah, it's Busby
Yeah.
and him. Yeah, because
Okay, good.
Because the thing that he did not want is he did not want a runoff.
Right.
Yeah, because he
I
probably
was like-
loses this.
Well,
Yeah.
because if you think about it, with all of the sheer number of delegates that they are candidates that they had,
Right.
and then Busby out of all of them
Yeah.
is the one who brings probably the most to the table.
He does.
And-
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if he makes that dude fear losing his job, I'm all for.
So
it.
the only ads you saw that Turner ran against Busby was he's a Trump guy. He's a Trump guy.
Yeah.
He's a Trump guy.
Yes, yeah.
That was the only thing that his DUI. But here's what's funny. Beto had a DUI.
Yeah.
He had a breaking and entering.
I kind of like the fact the guy drinks. It tells me
well,
he's a
yeah.
real person.
Yeah, he is. He's one of us, right?
He's in my book.
Yeah. So you see that running. So that's good. I didn't know how that turned out because
Yeah.
we don't get to vote.
No, I'm outside. I'm outside
Yeah,
of
we're
Harris
outside.
County.
Yeah. Well, we don't get
But
to
I have
vote.
to deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I live
Well,
close enough
up
to
here,
it.
we don't get to vote for the mayor.
No.
Because we're not city
Yeah,
Houston.
yeah.
And so it's one of those things to where
But we're affected by some of their policies.
definitely affected,
Right.
especially when they try to move bus routes further out
Sure.
this way.
Well, I'm in Montgomery, so I've
Right.
got it doesn't affect me at all. And
Yeah.
I don't get a
Well,
say.
I'm-
but I'm watching it because I work in it, and it affects me.
Yeah.
But where you live still falls into their extraterritorial jurisdiction.
Does it?
They've been wanting the Woodlands for a long time, man.
They want it, but we're in Montgomery, so I don't know that they could do that.
Yes, you can.
So.
Because there are parts of Houston that they have in Brazoria County.
Okay.
And Fort Bend.
Yeah. Okay.
So
so that was always a fight.
it's like I think it's like 50 miles.
So they lead with bus routes.
Yeah.
And then after bus routes becomes fire stations. Then after fire stations becomes utilities.
Yeah, because once you start using more,
I want to say it says Montgomery on our fire stations. But
no, it does. But that's how their reach goes. So when they annex areas,
I got you.
Because they annexed Kingwood, man, that was a fight years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember Kingwood and Clear Lake.
Yeah, it was a battle for them.
Yeah,
and because it's all about the tax revenues. And here's the sad thing about Sly. Okay, is a lot of people were not old enough to remember that this guy was embroiled with financial malpractice when he was a city as a city council member.
Right.
He's either a shitbag or been associated with shit.
Yeah.
Right.
And so you had Al Green and all these other guys that were, and
Al Green. Oh my God.
Remember that guy? Yeah. Shifty Green. Yeah.
Still fucking around.
He is. And so, you have this like default that everybody runs to. Well, you're hating on him because he's racist. No, I never once mentioned anything about his color. I'm all about his actions,
right?
Because I will tell you, and this is gonna be my blanket statement on it. Whether you're white, black, brown, Asian, wherever you're
whatever
from,
fucking color,
wherever color you are, when you're a part of this country and you're a contributing factor to the success and values of this country as it is, that's what you're here for. But if you're not, and if you're here to change things, and you're here to make it like your homeland or wherever it was, or to alter those things, then I got a problem where you come from and what you believe in.
Yeah.
But
go back there. If it's so great, go back there and live it.
Go back there.
Live the dream, baby.
And when we look at our representatives, luckily we have enough of a spread now of some people that are actually fighting in those halls.
Yeah.
How long they stick with it, I don't know, because these people wear you out.
Yeah.
They really do. And the more and more Californians that move here, and I've never been. When Rick Perry started that bullshit years ago, where he's going to California, trying to beat Arnold Schwarzenegger,
trying to solicit,
Well, he's trying to. Well, I knew that. So he's a Bilderberg guy.
Yep.
I'm going to go conspiracy a little bit.
Yeah.
Perry has conducted Bilderberg meetings. He's hosted Bilderberg meetings. He's a one world globalist. Okay.
Yeah. No, he definitely fills that bill.
He was never a fan.
That's how he got attached to Bush. I mean, if you really look at it, that's how he ended up in that administration.
For sure. So what you're seeing in Texas is that total migration in, and it's unfortunate. Because they've been after the Alamo for years.
Yeah.
They've been after Neil Bush is the guy that's in charge.
Over the department.
Over the department oversees that. When the Daughters of the Republic of Texas lost the right to run that, that was a big shot against the state because they're going to commercialize it.
Yeah.
Okay. They're doing things in the name of history.
Well, you actually took it out of the hands of
descendants, and that's a shame.
Put it in corporate hands, so to speak.
Yeah, so you have all these moving parts that are going on right now, and what's even more sad is you can't even enjoy music anymore.
Yeah,
because now all of a sudden songs that have been around for a long time,
oh boy, here we go,
have different meanings now in the ears of millennials.
Yeah.
Or cancel culture is really what this is about.
Motherfucking John Legend, you piece of fucking shit.
What did he do? I must have missed this one.
So
I know y'all were talking about it, but I missed it.
This is an old story. This is from last year too.
What?
It's Baby It's Cold Outside. This was an issue last year too.
The message of the song was you've got people fucking deep diving. A song that came out in was it the 40s or 50s?
Yeah, it was Dean Martin, wasn't it?
Well, no. Now the original one was Ricardo Montalban.
Well, that's it, Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah. I didn't even know the fucking
the plane
until I saw the video and I was like, oh my God, that's fucking Ricardo Montalban. So
that was actually
I'm
a good
watching this
movie.
thing. So John Legend and most recent occurrence right now. So John Legend and Kelly Clarkson redid this song with new lyrics.
Okay.
That were sort of
PC?
Yes, PC 2018, 2019 version of I think there's a line in there where, when the female part asks like, hey, what's in this drink or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, people are looking at this going, oh my God, he's trying to roofie
this girl, yeah.
So he changed the line. I forget what the original line was. Is the repeating verse is your body, your choice.
this came up with the whole Cosby thing.
Yeah.
Was kind of a big issue too with that.
And he's taken like a shit ton of heat.
Mm-hmm.
But because he's married to that fucking twat, Chrissy Teigen, somebody needs to come along and kick her right in the Twitter.
I've never liked Christy Teigen. She was on a food show and they were doing something. She goes, "Oh no, that's what white people do with their food."
Oh,
and that she was saying something. She goes, "No, that's something white people do with their food," and that was like, if you want, I don't get offended. I just thought, what a stupid bitch. She shouldn't have said that, but nobody's going to censor her on that.
Her only claim to fame is just being a Sports Illustrated swimsuit model.
Yeah.
That's it.
Your tits, honey. Yeah. That's how you got here.
That's not exactly your voice, not just your looks and how you looked at a bathing suit in the right fucking light.
Exactly. From this angle. You got there.
To not be outdone, Great Britain has weighed in as well. Lily Allen is I guess she's a musician singer.
Who?
Lily Allen.
I don't know.
Nah.
And she's saying that Great Britain needs to quit singing their traditional anthem, Rule Britannia.
Oh, yeah?
Because,
this is a new one.
Because they find that the lyrics are
imperialistic,
problematic.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Basically, it says Britons never shall be slaves. The nation so blessed as thee must in turn to tyrants fall, while thou shalt flourish great and free. The dread and envy of them all.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yeah, and that's what she's saying is problematic because it has the word slaves in it.
Well,
and does she not understand the context of the word?
It's really no different than how they attack the fucking national anthem.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
The same way. It's the same way. So you have these voices that keep getting out there, and so they're just saying that.
Well, I've actually heard this. Now that we're on this topic, this brought up something in the back of my mind. There was a singer not too long ago. I was driving home from work. And they were talking about making their lyrics gender neutral. And I'm trying to remember who this was.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about this at one point.
Which
we
would
never
be
took
some
it
funny
as a topic.
songs, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other day, Ken and I had this conversation.
You like Kiss songs?
So Ken hit me up. He asked me about, he was trying to take a song that he liked and he wanted to turn it into an MP3.
Uh-huh.
Asked me if I could do this through Audacity. And I turned around and I said, yeah, you can, but you can also do it through that. We're not even naming this fucking program.
Right.
I don't want anything to happen.
Right.
But you can do that here. And he went ahead and did it. But I hung on the name of the person that he sent me because I was like, I remember.
Yeah.
So it was the song. I don't remember who what the song
Ty England.
It was Ty England.
Yeah.
So
it's a Texas swing song.
Yeah,
I
okay.
really liked. Yeah.
So there's another Ty that I was remembering, and I had my ties fucking confused. So because
it was Bondage Tuesday for Sam.
One of the guys was a guitar.
Somebody choked him too hard.
Yeah.
One of the guys, and it's funny that I just posted that thing to my thing last night about the sound to make when somebody licks the gooch.
Exactly.
So if you can't see what embarrassment looks like or shaking the head, the silence ought to tell you.
Oh, I'm laughing.
Sorry, this show has been canceled due to content not appropriate for most people.
I couldn't remember what Ty it was because the Ty he was remembering.
Yeah, Ty Herndon
was the guitarist also from Garth Brooks.
Todd's favorite band.
Your favorite
guy.
Yeah. So anyway, but
Jesus,
when I figured out, okay, this is the other Ty.
Yeah.
Ty Herndon, I didn't realize this until probably less than 3 or 4 years ago that Ty Herndon actually came out as gay. Okay. But he had a song that suddenly the context
made
changed.
sense. Yeah.
As soon as I learned,
you went from she to him, huh?
Yeah. Well,
the song's name was Steam. So now, when I have a guy of this persuasion singing about basically being in a Turkish bath, suddenly it's not such a sexy fucking song.
Yeah.
Terrible.
But didn't he rewrite a song too, though?
He
that might be where I'm talking. That might get back to what I was saying. I think that's the general neutral.
He did exactly
stupidity.
that. He basically changed the words.
Instead of a chick, it was somebody of importance.
Really, what he felt.
And for real,
I don't care.
Yeah, for real, I don't. Play what you want.
I don't care if you make it. I'm just not going to listen to it.
The nice thing about freedom is you put it out there.
Yeah.
And
I really don't give a shit.
But don't legislate the hate.
Exactly.
Because that's not right. You can't legislate the hate. If it doesn't make playtime, don't force it on the radio.
Right. If I don't
Use
want to
the
listen
same
to it, I'm
rules for
not
everybody.
gonna.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. A good song is a good song.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I like well-written songs. I don't care what the goddamn message is.
Well, somebody threw a really cool infographic out the other day on one of the groups we follow about number one songs from 1969 to 2019. Remember that?
Yeah.
And it was a video that was ever evolving.
yes, I did watch that.
That was very
That-
cool, right?
Very cool.
So, you had Elvis. We'll just use Elvis as the baseline.
It's like the top for the longest time.
For
was
the longest
Elvis
time,
and
Elvis
and Beatles.
It was Elvis and Beatles were always on top, always
Mm-hmm.
moving up, somewhere between 1 and 3 throughout 10, 15 years. Then all of a sudden, all these obscure fucking musicians started showing up on this list.
Yeah.
Displacing all these iconic bands.
Mm-hmm.
And then Elton John jumped right back up to the top at the very end. And so I made a comment based on forced radio play. So honestly, you can say that MTV had a lot of influence in the 80s
Yeah.
on everything that played up until in the 90s. So for that 10 years, for that decade, MTV really ran, or whenever MTV came out, it really ran the top 10. So it would have been Michael Jackson
Yeah.
and groups like that, right?
I had this
Go ahead.
really horrible thought.
yeah.
Is the twisted side of me goes, oh, that must be right about the year where we started giving computers to queers.
Right. There we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Crap.
Yeah. Well, it's been nice. It's
But
been
the-
nice having the audience for the 2 years we've had.
But the
Thank
thing
you
is,
for doing it.
that
No, I get what
when
you're
you
saying.
look at that, somebody could, which is I think is the most ridiculous thought to have. But I kind of laugh at like fucked up shit too.
You do, and that was funny. I'm laughing. I'm telling you right now, I'm laughing.
Right.
So
I was looking for that. I had a Costco card in my pocket.
There
I was
you
wondering,
go.
what is that? It's so.
we can use it to buy a podcast.
There we go. So I went on further to say that forced radio play lists
Yes.
determine really the iconic musicians. So radio play,
Does it check certain metrics?
yeah, it
and
checks
stuff like
checks
that?
a metric. So I mean, for the longest time, I watched Ken Burns did a really good thing on country music. It's an episodic series on country music from the roots to modern times. And when he hit the Garth Brooks years, because we've dedicated a full podcast to Garth in our early days, and so when they showed,
I may have to go back and make that redigitize that.
Right. I wouldn't mind re-recording it because I've learned
We
more
can just
about
do
that
part
guy.
two. Well, we can do part two
Part
to it.
deux.
Part deux.
But yeah.
It's funny because I'm
yeah.
in the middle of watching Letterkenny, so they throw part deux
out there a lot. So what was funny about the Garth Brooks phenomenon was that, I learned to like a little bit about the guy. I didn't like the music or how it was presented.
I
I will tell you what I did like. I'll tell you what I did like about him.
He's a showman.
Yes, but what he did, he knew his audience. I will tell you this. They gave him the playtime. They gave him the money. But he gave back more than I gave him credit for.
Yeah.
They were talking about a fan thing he wasn't even invited to. He just showed up in blue jeans, a shirt, and a ball cap and just stood at the corner.
And watched.
And everybody started coming up to him. There was a line. He signed everybody's autograph even after the venue closed.
Wow.
Until he got the last person. He didn't charge a dime.
That's
He
pretty
did it
impressive. I
free.
got to give it to the guy.
I
Way
was
to
like,
go, Chris Gaines.
yeah, there you go. And I was like, okay, there is a redeeming value to this guy.
Yeah, now
at
if
this
somebody's
point.
a fan, and I get it,
Yeah.
if somebody's a fan of that music, there's nothing better than
Yeah.
having
Because his promoters, I think what ended up happening is nobody anteed up the money.
Yeah.
So he's like, screw you, I'm showing up anyway.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of I'm not going to put him in the Tom Petty category because I think Petty was the ultimate fan musician.
Yeah.
Because here's where we
But
get,
he did give something back, which I was impressed.
when you look at like music, okay, are they a good musician? Are they a good songwriter? There's so many different tangents that you can go to. And if you're just a guy that can show up on stage and get people excited for no other reason of you're excited, you make it look like we're about to have a good time, and then suddenly you bring them in. That's what a showman does. So
the second thing he did is he played Texas Stadium.
Okay.
Sold out the first night, sold out the second night, did the third night for free.
Wow.
So that everybody can go see the show that wanted to go see it.
Man, that's pretty impressive.
So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of
God damn it, Ken! You're making me like this guy now. I still want to punch him in the face.
I'm backpedaling a lot on him now because
now, I mean, the way that we're doing this, I'm getting very close to ordering Todd a T-shirt with fucking Garth Brooks on it.
I will burn it to the ground.
Okay, that's when the show goes to video.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was interesting. So and all I'm trying to say,
Cardboard cutout of Garth Brooks.
I'm just trying to say I spent a little time learning more about the dude I was hating on.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it. I know, Todd. I know. It's hard. It really is. It was hard for me, too. Ask my wife.
Just think of the flaming T-shirts, or the flaming button-up collared shirts that he wore, and we're right back to the hate.
Yeah. Well, they put that on him. Wrangler gave him all that stuff. Oh, yeah. So, that's...
See, now you're making excuses for him. Oh, my God.
So, literally what happened is I walked away
Dude
from...
was a fucking billboard.
He really was. That's all he was. And he was a paid whore.
Yeah.
Basically, wear this. Yeah, I'll do that. You do this. And he's like rolling in the dough right now.
Yeah.
But they were showing him.
See, that still makes me hard to hate the guy because, there's still a lot of stuff I'd sell out for.
I'm telling
money.
you. But they were showing him in the early days where there was this cafe that everybody played in Nashville. And they were showing how he just...
Was it the one where the dance took place? Oh.
I know that. Yeah, there were some of the songs that were pretty shitty.
Anyway, go ahead. It's a cafe.
That was a nice segue.
Yeah. But it was just showing how it was a fluke. It was a literal fluke that this guy even got anybody to look at him.
Yeah.
Because they were rejecting him all over Nashville. And this one songwriter sat down with him and worked out some songs. So I'm thinking, okay, now here's what I'm going to say about that.
Probably played to his strength.
Yeah, because the songs I didn't think were all that great anyway.
Yeah.
I would have hated to have heard what they sounded like before.
Prior to that?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, none of his lyrics really... I'm trying to think...
Were they his song?
Not all of them. Some were co-written. So when you look at it...
right now I just have an image of George Strait taking off his hat and vomiting. Just
yeah.
But now,
George Strait, by the way, opened up a brand new music. He showed up unannounced at a brand new dance hall in the Hill Country.
Oh yeah,
and helped them open that dance.
See,
hall.
there's a real man.
I'm telling you, man, that dude. Yeah.
So one of the things that I posted with our page the other day was the whole, that stupid cat and woman.
Yeah, the cat woman.
So she says something to the effect of, it was like Indian Outlaw.
Yeah, yeah.
And the cat comes back with,
I'm a parakeet and a hot dog.
Parakeet and hot dog. So we were talking in the truck about fucking Tug
His
McGraw.
son.
That's the McGraw you need to remember.
Yeah.
Tug McGraw, Tim, not so much.
Yeah.
But I went back to watch the old video of that. And not just him, but it was that look.
It was
that he
horrible.
had, where you're wearing this broad fucking cowboy hat. And you're
Do you have a shirt with flames on it? Because flames were big back then.
It was
wife beater, wasn't it?
No. It was still the shirt that had no collar. It was like the Australian cowboy look. And it had this like weird pattern. But anyway, so it was the Indian Outlaw song. So you're watching him play this guitar. And so I'm looking at tempo. I was like, he's strumming this thing like he's like playing another fucking song.
AC/DC. He's playing some AC/DC.
To me, Indian Outlaw was like the fucking low point
Cherokee
of
Outlaw.
songwriting.
Yeah.
Is if your name shows up anywhere on this thing, I'd be petitioning somebody to get my fucking name removed from
Yeah, we went
Back
even
me out of this
we
deal.
went even as far as
horrible.
Achy Breaky Heart.
Yes. Yeah.
Remember that? Now I will tell you, guys that had shitty lyrics.
Think of the curse that's brought upon
I
us.
know.
I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Hannah Montana. That's where it all stems from.
Now he's like hooked
like
up
a
with
Medusa.
that Little Nas, whoever that did that fucking cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I've never been a Tim McGraw fan ever.
Yeah.
I mean, not even the slightest.
Right.
He's actually there's nothing you can say about him that'll turn me in his favor.
Yeah.
Like it might have with Garth. But the one that really got me was the Billy Ray Cyrus one.
Yeah.
That was really kind of, because they were calling him the country Mel Gibson when he first came out.
I remember that.
Remember that? Yeah, they were saying
because he had the look.
He had the look. He had the mullet. He had the Kentucky waterfall going on the back. You know?
Yeah.
But the guys I thought that were the coolest that had shitty songs too was the Kentucky Headhunters.
Hey!
I love those guys.
Yeah.
I was like,
no. You need to listen. I said, for guys that I like, they had some shitty songs that were really pretty good.
Yeah.
Because Dumas Walker.
Dumas Walker's awesome.
So everybody thought it was Do Miss Walker, for the longest time. No, Dumas Walker was the name of a dude that had a place they would go to,
right.
you know? And it was just, those guys were fun to watch. I mean, you had that little scrawny guy that was bald with the mutton chops with no t-shirt playing the drums.
One of the guys, he's related to, one of the original members of like 38 Special.
Yeah,
I can't remember the guy's name.
it's the long-haired dude. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I think that I may have that name. I may have that relationship wrong, but he's related to somebody who was from a big band.
Yeah, big band. Yeah,
of the rock and roll band from the 70s.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And which is, and those guys still. I mean, they're still around, and they just don't play like
They just don't play the big venues. Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of another. We talked about 2 or 3 of these were just horrible. That was a run of the 90s. That we talked about Tracy Lawrence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Talked a little bit about Tracy Lawrence.
Was it because I the one song.
Tracy Lawrence is the guy with the real deep voice, right?
No, he had the long, stringy, dirty blonde hair with the straggly mustache.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I'm tracking.
The only reason I like him is because I think he's the one who did Time Marches On, which is
he did.
That is a good song.
And he did Alibis.
Awesome
he did a song called Alibis.
Alibis, I don't know what it is, but Time Marches On was I liked the kind of the
that had a good tempo
beat,
to it. It was good. That was a good jam.
Very storytelling.
Yeah.
He was the one that got in trouble for beating up his wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and what
What'd
happened?
she do?
Yeah, I know, right? No, what didn't
Way to punch all the buttons today, Graham. Called them queers and punch white beating.
What
That's
you
great.
should have said was, what didn't she do? That's really, what did she refuse to do? Yeah. So, but what happened?
Folks were just playing around.
Yeah, it's just jokes, right? So Karma caught up to him later. He was sitting up front of his fireplace, and the glass thing up front exploded and cut his face up.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That was why he was out for such a long time.
Prettied him up, huh?
Prettied him up a little bit. Yeah.
Street cred.
Street cred. Yeah, him and Vanilla Ice now are running around doing music together.
No. Where'd you get them pits, boy?
Looked like you were involved in a meth explosion.
Exactly. Dude, that needs to be a song right there. That's a country song if I've ever heard one.
Dude, that is funny. Well, East Texas, man. So all those dudes are from East Texas, basically.
Travis Tritt.
Oh, no, I kind of like Travis, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
It was the era, so I had to dump that out there.
Yeah, I will say for
Marty Stewart.
Marty Stewart's one of my... No,
Marty Stewart's old school, though. Marty Stewart goes back a
Bill
long
Monroe.
time.
He played with Bill Monroe and all those guys.
Yeah.
Travis Tritt was one of those guys that played in a lot of sessions as well. Yeah. Now, I know one guy I'm going to mention you guys are going to really give me shit for, and that's Dierks Bentley.
Who?
Okay. So he's a country singer, but he has bluegrass roots. He actually plays with a lot of bands that he was very popular mainstream radio guy the last few years.
Okay.
In country. And I know we don't really listen to mainstream country anymore. We really don't. Mm-hmm. What I thought was funny is Kelly Clarkson talking about her again and John Legend. She's getting poo-pooed on because she goes, country music isn't country music anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, they got upset with her about that.
They really did. And, being the judge on The Voice and all these other things. And honestly, I think she has a right to that opinion because she's right.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's just...
Even if she wasn't right, she still has a right to the opinion.
Go back to the roots of country music where they hated Johnny Cash.
They
hated on him until they can market him when he was older before he died.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit you get in Nashville. You get this where you had the Waylon Jennings, and honestly, if you guys don't get a chance, you need to watch Tales from the Tour Bus.
Tales from the Tour Bus.
And you need to watch the season 1 because that is some of the best stuff you'll ever see about musicians in your life.
That is
Mike
hysterical.
Judge just knocks it out of the freaking park, man.
There's nothing that guy doesn't touch that's good, I think. Mike Judge is awesome.
He is. He did country music, then he did funk, and now he's doing rock.
Yeah.
So season 3, whenever it comes out, it's going to be on rock, and that's going to be great because...
that's going to be some crazy tour bus shit.
Oh, my God. Man. The season 1 was phenomenal. I think I've watched it 8 times. It's that good.
I would like to see him do one on, like, grunge.
Oh,
just
okay.
To see what he has to say about it. But
that'd be depressing.
Well, the way he talks, though, it would be perfect.
It would be funny, but it'd be like, just get it over with.
We had an interview set up, but the whoever it was who we were going to talk to died of like substance abuse.
Yeah.
or he was hooked on heroin, and he's in a rehab now.
He was arrested on a platform eating a sandwich at the BART station.
He was panhandling
while crapping on a
Man, we have beat up everybody and everything today.
We went around with this.
We went to the body on a lot of them.
Yeah,
I really think we've wore them out, man. But and all your comments about what was said go directly to Sam.
Yeah, well, I'm all punched out. I don't know. I mean, I went round and round. I guess I did have some good stuff for Sam, but
well, so we were talking about theme music. So we'll kind of close with this theme music in our head. About we were talking about a lot of times on the blogs we'll say, well, if you're doing a particular thing, do you hear music?
Yeah.
So he's asked me, when I played sports, I always had music playing in my head.
Yeah.
It was a timing thing. It was a mood thing for me.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking today, that song, Bring Me Sunshine by Willie Nelson?
Yeah.
That's what's playing in my head right now.
Really?
Okay, yeah. Right now it's Bring Me Sunshine because it's one of those happy-go-lucky, fuck it kind of songs.
I've got the Mission Impossible theme working in my head. I don't know why, but that's what's going
so
around in my
I'm interested to hear what was going on in his dome.
Oh,
Well,
God.
Because he's a music guy.
He is the music guy.
The thing that I told you the other day is I like so the old Sammy Davis Jr. Candyman can.
You know what? That kind of goes along with my Mission Impossible theme. I like where this is headed.
Candy Sam can.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I'm all about lyric writing too. So.
Well, there you go, folks. That's it.